Good morning and welcome to the Morning Outlook. I'm Rachel Jones, live from Kalkine TV's Sydney studios. Now, Australian shares are likely to open lower this morning. That's after Wall Street slumped in overnight trade on interest rate hike threat. American investors now anticipate a full percentage point rate hike following red-hot US inflation reading for June. The US market is also awaiting US labour force data for June. Meanwhile, Australia is awaiting its job figures for June today from the Australian Bureau of Statistics. The ASX may witness a rebound in gold and iron ore prices today, while tech shares are likely to track a weak session. The latest ASX futures indicate that the ASX 200 would open 2 points lower. Yesterday, the benchmark ASX 200 index ended 0.2% higher at 6,621 points. Moving on to some business news from this morning now, and Telstra has completed the acquisition of Digicel Pacific in partnership with the Australian government. Telstra contributed $270 million of equity to the $1.6 billion purchase price, and the Australian government, through Export Finance Australia, provided the remaining $1.33 billion. Telstra owns 100% of the ordinary equity. Digicel Pacific is the leading provider of communication services across PNG, Fiji, Nauru, Samoa, Tonga and Vanuatu. The company had around 2.8 million subscribers and 1,700 employees, generating $466 million in service revenue for the financial year ending 31st of March 2022. Moving on, and Pilbara Minerals is pleased with its latest spodumene concentrate auction held via its digital battery material exchange platform, where a cargo of 5,000 dry metric tonnes was sold for $6,841 a tonne. There were 41 bids received online during the 30-minute auction window. And SSE Thermal has awarded a contract for low-carbon power station. The contract is for the development of a proposed low-carbon power station in Peterhead in Scotland. The contract has been awarded to a consortium of Worley, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Group and Technicas Redundas. The power station, equipped with associated carbon capture technology, is being developed by SSE Thermal and Equinor. It will potentially be the first of its kind in Scotland and will support the UK's target of net zero emissions by 2050. The power station is expected to be operational by 2027. And finally, there's one company set to make its debut on the ASX today. Keep an eye out for Butala Energy. They raised $7 million at 20 cents per share. You can find more details about this in Kalkine's exclusive IPO Corner show. Well, now it's time for a very short break, but stay tuned for more news set to affect your trading day.
Tune in to get the latest information.
Whether it's about market movements or the currency graph,
Sectoral coverage or industry news.
we cover it all on our news segments.
Be on top of the latest news
With Kalkine TV.
Welcome back to the Morning Outlook report. Now, over in the US again, on the Wall Street, the Dow Jones fell 0.7%, the S&P 500 declined 0.45%, and the Nasdaq ended 0.15% lower. Wall Street saw a sell-off after June's inflation number came in higher than expected. The June CPI index rose 9.1% from a year ago, hitting a 40-year high. That's the largest rise in consumer prices in over 40 years. Now, over in Europe, the Stoxx 50 fell 1%. The FTSE was down 0.7%. The CAC also slipped 0.7%, and the DAX ended 1.2% lower. MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside of Japan ended 0.43% higher, while Japan's Nikkei rose 0.54%. Now, oil prices were up yesterday, and that's despite a rise in US oil inventories. Brent crude ended up 8 cents a barrel at $99.57. WTI crude rose 46 cents to $96.30 a barrel. Gold prices surged on the softer US dollar. Spot gold was up 0.8% at $1,739 an ounce. Meanwhile, Bitcoin last rose 1.74% to $19,656. That's all for our Morning Outlook report here on Kalkine TV. Have a great day trading. Stay tuned for more market updates and economic news live throughout the day. This is Rachel signing off for now.